Tuesday, the 28th day of July 2026. You're welcome to another edition of GH Today. I am Mohammed. A number of issues to discuss this morning. Particularly, we'll be looking at Ghana's exit from the IMF with our final tranche. Now, what does this mean for the country? Are we able to hold our fiscals together? These and more. We also have an economic and financial analyst on the Breakfast Review today who crunched the numbers for us, break it down and tell us how our future will look like, especially with the mid-year budget review that was presented by the Finance Minister, Dr. Kesi Alato-Forsyth. Be my guest. Let me motivate you and then I take you to court. Our motivation this morning is by Audrey Hepburn, who says, nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I'm possible. Yeah. So that's Audrey Hepburn there, who says, nothing is impossible. Whatever it is that you want to do, everything is possible. Let's take you to court. Okay, Captain has joined me for court today. Captain, good morning. How are we?
Good morning, Kusasi Goddess. How are you, Lily?
I'm doing awesome, as always.
Yes,
awesome.
Tuesday morning. Gradually Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
Yeah, and then the week comes to a close, and then the month itself comes to a close.
And the month also comes to a close. And the judiciary is going on vacation.
Oh,
but
that's
there will
a
be
good one.
Vacation courts. Circuit court, the lower court do not go on vacation, so that one, get it clear. The district court and then the circuit court, they don't have vacations.
Okay.
So they are in force. And the superior court, the high court, court of appeal, and the Supreme Court, they go on vacation. But even with the superior court, the Supreme Court and the court of appeal, it is automatic. During the pendency of the vacation, when you go there, nobody will be sitting. But of course, the registry will be opened. But with the high court, there are vacation courts, some selected court that will be sitting in relation to the vacation, and they will be dealing with issues. So you see a case, for instance, if court 5, in terms of the criminal court, normally they are 5. When you go to the law court complex, they are 5. So 2 out of the 5 will be sitting. So let's say court 4 and 5 will be sitting. All court 1 cases will be distributed or go to one of the courts. All court 2 cases will go one of the court. All court 3 cases will go. So those who have been appearing before this court, you'll be directed to go before these courts until the legal vacation ends and then the new legal year starts. Fresh cases that will come to, they are allocated based on the courts that are sitting. You know that the court has divisions: criminal division, labor division, human rights, general jurisdiction, commercial court, land courts. Each of these divisions, there will be courts that will be available sitting during the course of the legal vacation. But largely, there will be a 2-month vacation and all of that. But why am I saying all this? One of the courts that will even be sitting in the course of the legal vacation is the general jurisdiction too. And yesterday, Bernard Ntwibu, popularly known as Chairman Wuntumi, now he's in hot waters. Director, let's have the videos and then let me share with you yesterday some of the characteristics that took place at the law court complex. For the first time, I'm seeing numbers in the sense that persons within the MPP, known faces within the MPP, at least turn up to show support for Bernard Ntwibu.
But where were they all this while?
This is a miracle.
Dennis Miracle,
absolutely, when he was leaving the court.
Oh, his spokesperson.
He's always been with him, as far as I know. So he's been very loyal to Bernard Ntwibu in all of this. Yesterday, I saw Osei Mensah Bonsu, once upon a time.
Former majority leader.
Yes. He was present in court. I saw Anthony Abeifa Kago.
Okay.
He was also in court yesterday. I saw the General Secretary of the NPP, Justin Kodia Frimpong. He was also there. Yesterday also I saw Samie Uku. Samir Uku was also, exactly, yesterday, he was also in court. I saw Kojo Opon-Nkrumah yesterday, he was also in court. Absolutely. Among others who were even Freddie Blay. Freddie Blay was in court yesterday. He was in court, he was robed. So I do not know whether indeed he was there for Chairman Wontumi or was there for
he was robed?
Yes, he was robed.
Well, I'm sure for people who don't know, Freddie Blay is a seasoned lawyer.
Yes, a seasoned lawyer. So yesterday. So this is the scene, or these are the scenes from the law court complex yesterday. And that's the Deputy Attorney General, Dr. Justice Swemsai, in relation to Bernard Ntwibu Esiakun's case. And in all of this, what happened? Yesterday, the issue about the Exim man came up. And we know that Bernard Ntwibu Esiakun has approached the Attorney General for plea bargaining. Now, within the plea bargaining law, you have 1 month after you make the proposal for you to go and settle. Now, the 1 month has elapsed, and the decision to the court is that negotiations are broken down. They could not agree on anything as far as the negotiation is concerned. Now, what next? What next was that they are before the court, and once they are before the court, the trial ought to start. The case ought to take its normal course in court, so the court will deal with it. At the same time, the parties can decide to start negotiating alongside the main court issues or processes that happen. So first, when you initiate the proposal to the AG, automatically the court will stay proceedings and give you 1 month to go and negotiate. After 1 month, when the negotiation did not agree or you could not agree on anything, you come back to the court and the trial will resume in court. But at the same time, when the trial is ongoing, you can, alongside it, do case management, plea bargaining. If you conclude on something, you can come to the court, inform the court about it, and then the trial will truncate. So yesterday, Justice Halima El Alawa Abdul Basit was faced with that constraint. But the deputy, somewhat attached, and in fact, before then, we know that in this case, it is Andy Apiakubi who is lawyer for Bernard Ntwibu Esiakun. Now, when the case was called, then we saw Samuel Atacha on his feet. He didn't announce himself immediately, but he said there's a development that he wants to bring to the attention of the court. And that development was that Andy Apiakubi has withdrawn his services as counsel for Bernard Ntwibu Esiakun, Chairman Wontumi, and now he is the new lawyer in the case.
So it means in the Tanon Nimri case,
yes,
Andy Apiakubi is still the lawyer?
Yes.
But why hasn't he withdrawn and then allow Atacha to take over all the other cases?
This is getting a whole lot of people confused because it started with the Summer Boy one, where he withdrew his services. So many were thinking that once he's done that,
then he's going to withdraw all the across the board.
That was not how it happened. He withdrew only from the Summer Boy one. By respect to the Exim Bank and the Tando Nibre, Andy Apiakubi was still counsel and was still attending court and performing his court duties. So yesterday, and remember, Chairman Wontumi, after his conviction and sentence, appeared in court 2 days after.
And it was Andy Apiakubi that came with him?
Absolutely. And that day, Andy Apiakubi did not come. He sent a letter to the court for the case to be adjourned to the 31st of July. That is Friday. And so on Friday, we will know whether he's still in that case or not. But yesterday, when we went for the Exim Bank case before Justice Abdul Basit, then this development came to the fore that Samuel Atacha is a new lawyer. And his point was that, yes, we've had a conversation with the Attorney General, and we believe that parties are still desirous of resolving the matter through plea bargaining. Deputy Attorney General came in and said, yes, as for that particular point, where the parties are willing to settle them. And the reason they could not even reach an agreement within that 30 days was that the conviction and sentence of Chairman Wontumi within last week, Monday, prevented the parties from meeting again. So that is why the 1 month has ended and they couldn't find any agreements. And the court can allow them the time. Then the court drew their attention to the fact that the law is saying that after 1 month, proceedings in court should resume. So how am I making an order when that 1 month has elapsed? So the court reluctantly said that I'm adjourning the case to the 27th of August, during the pendency of the legal vacation. The parties to come, hoping that that day they'll come and then give us, the parties will come with an agreement in relation to that. But moments after, Bafo Ewa, he's a lawyer. He's giving us a hint about why Chairman Samuel Achachia is now the lawyer in respect of this case. Let's hear him.
We're in court this morning for the case of the Republic versus Chairman Wontumi in respect of the Exim Bank loan matter involving Wontumi Farms. The party has since directed that the cases involving Chairman Wontumi be taken over by the party's legal team. And so, in respect of this matter, Mr. Samuel Achachia is leading it.
Lawyer Bafo Ewa. He is also an MP.
Yeah.
And now the point that he's telling us is that the party, the NPP as a party, has now decided that they are taking all over the cases involving Chairman Wontumi. And they have they've chosen Samuel Achachia to lead the cases. That is why Andy Apiakubi was not in court
when
yesterday.
next is the Tanonimui Forest case coming
31st of July.
31st.
That was Friday.
That's on Friday.
That's Friday.
Okay, so should we then anticipate that in that particular case as well, we're going to hear the counsel for that case, as Andy Apiakubi, withdraw his services? Because if the account of Bafo is anything to go by, it means that the NPP as a party is taking over all the other cases.
There's no other meaning than what you have just explained. So automatically, we know that...
He's the MP for Menchia
yes,
South,
absolutely.
by the way.
We know that Andy Apiakubi will no longer be in Wontumi cases. But yesterday, it was very interesting in the courtroom because at some point in time, when the party leadership were seated, Chairman Wontumi was also sitting where he was supposed to sit as somebody, a convict or an accused person in respect of this case. And it was very quiet, reflecting on certain things. The party, those who came in, were having their own negotiation. At some point in time, he would just look at them at some point, then he would shake his head. I was like, ooh. I just imagine what was going through his mind.
Because I am also wondering, where were they all this while?
Yes, because apart from the first day, that was it. Chairman Wontumi,
because even on the day that the supposed judgment was given,
we didn't see
none of them was there.
Yeah, we didn't see the people that we
So
have
why
seen
wait till he's incarcerated now? You're massing up in your numbers. People will say that the NPP is made up of Adefo, Enim Defo, let me say. So where were they all this while?
One thing that I can say without mincing words is that if you look at the other cases, in respect of Kwabena Duboahin, you see known faces, known NPP faces who come to court in respect of that. Chairman Wontumi didn't have the support that the party, as
the
a
only
political
time
party,
we saw the party in their numbers was when he was arrested by Yoko. He masked up, demanded his release, and that was it. He was left to his fate. One of the very people who's constantly been with him is Dr. Paul Givbachi-Dankwa. And even on the day of his incarceration, he was there.
Together. And he broke down in tears, indeed, actually, when the whole thing. But yesterday, there was one dramatic thing that also happened. So Chairman Wontumi had a seat, and just where he was seated, the courtroom was heavily packed and all of that. And just by him was a small space when now the lawyers working, the Samuel Achachia working, and then the AG team walked in, and the Deputy Attorney General just sat by that particular space and was just close to Bernard Entry-Buesiako, and you could see the atmosphere, you could see how it was going on, all of that. But the new lawyer for Chairman Wontumi, Samuel Achachia, has also been speaking.
In the first instance, you are not kind to say that I'm a lucky man. You've put more work on my shoulders. But essentially, the judge agreed, and Honorable Deputy Attorney General Service also agreed that you attempt a plea bargain and then come back to the court and announce it. So we'll take up that initiative and see whether we can broker a deal, and that matter will come to an end.
To Samuel Achachia, saying that yes, they are still desirous of settling this matter out of court or plea bargaining in relation to that, with the parties are all in tune of it. So on the 27th of August, this case will come up again. And yesterday,
27th of August.
August, yes.
That's a vacation court.
Yes, it will come before a vacation. And that same court is sitting in the court of the legal vacation. So it's a straightforward thing and all of that. In fact, initially they wanted to come back in October. But they look at the situation and said, look, because of where we have gotten to the plea bargaining and all of that, then we should come earlier than that. So that's how come they have agreed on that and all of that. And yesterday, NSB, Kwabena Duboahin, that case was also in court. Further cross-examination of the investigator, the Yoko witness, yesterday also happened before Justice Francis Apangabonu Achibonga. And it's getting interesting. Yesterday, the witness was grilled on the 49.1 million Ghana cedi in question that the accused persons were alleged to have stolen and all of that. Of course, Samuel Atachan was involved, Deputy Attorney General Dr. Justice Tremsai and his legal team, as you can see them on your screen. These are not the video, yes, 8 videos, but the same team members, Samuel Atachan also, and his legal team also moving out there moments after the court sitting. But he was speaking to us about the Eduboahin case. Let's hear Samuel Atachan.
Relating to the Eduboahin case, Cromwell, who is the last witness and investigator for the Attorney General, is still in the box. And today he made several concessions that he didn't understand the national security space. And I begin to wonder, I don't have to say so many times, that how can you investigate the national security when their matters are clandestine, when they do undercover operations, when they have even operatives functioning in banks? How can you come to terms with a space that you don't understand? And why should we use your ignorance to send somebody to jail? So this is where we are. Tomorrow is a good day for the judiciary, so it won't come. But Wednesday we'll continue with him and see how it pans out. But it is very, very unfortunate. He made several admissions that he didn't understand the national security arrangement.
Samuel Atachan, counsel for Kwabena Duboahin.
And interestingly, I'm not surprised he's leading this plea bargaining, because one of his specialties as a lawyer is dispute resolution.
Oh, that's great. That's great. He's an ADR practitioner, ADR expert. And ADR in dispute, in fact, it is one tool that you always want to employ, because as a parties in dispute, you own your own cases and you resolve you have the best solutions to your own case and all of that. And when you adopt ADR, dispute resolution, it's win-win-win-win. And it's very flexible. Yeah. It also saves time as well. And all the parties, you go home happily. Yeah.
And unless, of course, one party decides not to accept the terms, and then you have to resort back to the court.
As for the traditional court, definitely one will lose and one will win.
But for ADR, everybody wins. Absolutely. I mean, you walk away with what you expected anyway.
Supreme Court at 150.
Oh, yeah.
Today there's a climax. But let me tell you before the climax that there has been a moot court. We have spoken about it here and all of that. So since this is the Supreme Court, the apex court of the land, the Chief Justice, the University Planning Committee Chair, Richard J. Frimpong, and then a host of others. And you know, there were 11 schools that took part in this particular national moot court competition and all of that. And it was quite an interesting scene as some of the Court of Appeal judges who were present at this particular moot court competition. And guess who? The final was between the University of Ghana and GIMPA. So that is a rep from GIMPA at some point in time advancing the argument. There is the University of Ghana team also making their point there. And it was quite interesting. At the end, there were medals. There were.
So who won?
At the end, University of Ghana, the premier law university, won the maiden. In fact, it's historic because it is the first time they are having this anniversary, and this is the first time we are having such an event. And so they made away with a certificate. They made away with even cash prizes. So University of Ghana that won took away 10,000 Ghana cedis, a trophy, medals, certificates, and all of that. So that is the Supreme Court and all of that. And when the National Moot Court competition happened, out of the 11 schools that registered and participated, in fact, there was a preliminary stages the day before the finals and all of that. So at the end, University of Ghana School of Law came up tops in relation to this. But let's hear from Mohammed, Japan, who played a key role in this particular victory for the University of Ghana.
It's wonderful that as the first law school in Ghana, and as we've also been ranked as the best law school in Ghana and the best law school in West Africa, it's only great and necessary that we take the very first or inaugural Supreme Court competition, the Moot Court Competition Award, and we're glad we won it. We couldn't have done this without our coaches, our lecturer, Ms. Hazel. We couldn't have done this without our student coach, Nashade, our lecturers who also helped us, Dr. Obri Cry, Professor P.J. Tuya, everybody who came in, Dr. Vitis. If it wasn't for them, we are not sure we would have been here today. It's wonderful that as the first law school in Ghana, and as we've also been ranked as the best law school in Ghana and the best law school in West Africa, it's only great and necessary that we take the very first or inaugural Supreme Court competition, the Moot Court Competition Award, and we're glad we won it. We couldn't have done this without our coaches, our lecturer, Ms. Hazel. We couldn't have done this without our student coach, Nashade, our lecturers who also helped us, Dr. Obri Cry, Professor P.J. Tuya, everybody who came in, Dr. Vitis. If it wasn't for them, we are not sure we would have been here today.
I'm not sure there's any doubt about the best law school in Ghana. And even in the whole of West Africa, University of Ghana, the premier university.
Okay, we hear you.
Let's hear from the runner-up, Gimpa.
It is very sad because obviously we did put in our best, but we do thank the Supreme Court for giving us this opportunity to showcase our talents, and we hope that if there is a next one, that we come back stronger.
That's the best opportunity you want to have. You want the next opportunity just immediately so that you can react. And that is the spirit from Gimpa. He said that, look, we want the next opportunity and all of that. Next time, University of Ghana, you have to be on guard. Else, the next opportunity, Gimpa is saying that we'll give you a run for your money. But the Chief Justice, Paul Bafuboni, has some advice for the team.
What I have been told, even though I wasn't present throughout, from what I saw this morning and what I have been told, you did a very good job. This is just the beginning. It's the moot court. The preparation that you have put in tells you that it is not for nothing that we refer to ourselves as learned friends. You have to, I was told, and it has happened, that a good lawyer, if you want to be a good lawyer, you can't sleep earlier than 12 and wake up before, you have to wake up before 5. Because it doesn't matter how much you learn, there is always something to learn. Congratulations to all of you, and let us see more of you. So,
Chief Justice Paul Bafuboni, congratulating the team, all the parties, all the schools that took part. In fact, they all got certificate. All of the participating schools, all of them got certificate. The judges who played key roles, they were all recognized and all of that. So this is part of the Supreme Court at 150th anniversary. And today, the big one, the Deba and the climax is happening. Director, let me show you the artwork. And guess who is gracing today's events? The
Vice
President. The second citizen of Ghana.
The second citizen of the Republic, yes. The Vice President of the Republic.
Yeah. So the
Professor
president
Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman,
is the first citizen.
Yes.
Then Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, Vice President. So she will be gracing the climax and the Deba happening at 9 a.m. It's less than an hour to this particular event at the UPSC. And so all of us will be heading there. Of course, the Chief Justice, Paul Bafuboni, is in there. And guess who will be the chairman of the occasion? Togbe Afede, the 14th. And the Agbogbo Mefia
of the Asogli State.
So these are the people that we should expect at the Supreme Court at 150th anniversary climax. So all roads lead to University of UPSA.
Okay, University of Professional Studies.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So that'll be all for court today, Lily.
All right, Captain. Thank you. I take a break here. When I return, my guest will join me for the breakfast review. Stay tuned in.
giving me just what I need, and I can feel the whole.
Welcome back to the show. This is still G today here on GHOne TV, and I am Lily Mohammed. My guests have joined me for the breakfast review. This morning, I've been joined by Bernard Kwame Radio Esquire. He's a member of the NPP legal team. I've also been joined by Richmond Maunyo Akpa. He's a finance and economic policy analyst. I told you about this earlier, that we'll have an economist here who break down the numbers, who crunch the numbers and tell us whether indeed we're on the road towards recovery. I've also been joined by Dr. Samiai. He is a presidential aide. Good morning, gentlemen. How are we doing?
Good morning, Lily.
It's good to see all of you.
Good to see you too.
Great to see you, as always. I like your outfit.
Thank you.
Has there ever been a day that I've never admired?
I know, right?
They say excellence cuts across.
Let's look at Ghana's economic recovery. This morning, there was a release by the finance minister that we have officially exited the IMF bailout. So one of the critical questions on the minds of many people, especially the ordinary Ghanaians, is this a genuine economic turnaround, or is just the beginning of another difficult chapter? Mind you, we've been to the IMF 17 times. And every time we exited, we'll tell ourselves, we'll pat ourselves on the back and say that we're doing so well, we are not going back to the Bretton Woods institution. But then again, things will happen, external factors, and then we run back to the IMF. Let me start with Richmond. From the indicators you have seen so far, inflation, GDP, does it appear that this exit from the IMF will last?
Well, a very good morning to you, Lily, and then to our cherished viewers. I think that as an economy, we've come a long way. We've been to the IMF for about 17 times. What I see is this government is making a conscious effort to ensure that this is the last time that we go to the IMF to seek a bailout. Now, the finance minister, when he was reading the budget, narrated the sequence of events that led to where we find ourselves today.
Sure.
If you look at the financial year of 2022, that was the year that we saw a very downgrading crisis in our economy. We saw the cedi losing value. The cedi lost value to the extent that the volatility of exchange rates came to an unpredictability level. We saw inflation rising to more than 50% of our economy. And then every day that a Ghanaian business and household goes to the market to trade, they were not able to predict the value and the prices of goods. We came to a standstill where our public debt to our GDP became so unsustainable, rising over 80%. Now, the beautiful part of the issue is when the administration was living in 2016, the public debt that they had was less than 200 billion Ghana cedis. But then by the year 2022, due to the value of the cedi depreciating, it has skyrocketed to about 700 billion Ghana cedis. So you could say that it was not just an issue of our public debt increasing per the GDP, but it was our currency losing value. So the moment the currency loses value, public debt balloons into the air. Now, the managers of our fiscal space are saying that we have been to the IMF several times. What are the lessons we are learning? Because it begins to look like we only go to the IMF as people who need financing. We don't go to the IMF as partners. So we don't get to determine the conditions of the program. But then the good thing about this is, as we are exiting the extended credit facility, we are transitioning into a policy coordination instrument. Now, what does this mean? It is a policy instrument for countries who don't need financing, but needs the IMF or wants the IMF to monitor their economy and then endorse their economic policies. Unlike the bailout, the PCI, that's the policy coordination instrument, does not provide any financing. What's the purpose of the PCI? for education purposes, the PCI helps country to maintain the macroeconomic stability that they've achieved. Now, looking at the mid-year fiscal review, what are the macroeconomic indicators that we've achieved? We saw inflation coming down from about 28% to currently about 5.3%. We've seen that our international reserves have increased to about 5.7 months to cover our imports. We've seen that the Ghana Gold Board has brought in about 15 billion US dollars in foreign exchange inflows into the country. This has helped to shoot up the value of the cedi. The cedi has now gained value about 40%. So you could see that the macroeconomic indicators that we have are improving, and then we now have macroeconomic stability. So the PCI is going to ensure that we don't lose funds from this macroeconomic stability that we've achieved. Secondly, the PCI is going to demonstrate commitment to sound economic reforms. Yes, but not as people who need their partners.
Okay, so there's no new money coming in.
No, there's no new money. Now, to demonstrate the economic reforms, we have to look at what economic reform have we gone through this past years. First economic reform was the fiscal correction that we had. We could see that governments or state-owned enterprises were entering into contracts, were spending money that they do not have. The government is saying that for now, henceforth, they're going to amend the PA Act and ensure that all government spendings have a commitment authorization from the ministry. So if you don't have the financial capability or you're not generating enough revenue to spend, you press on the brakes, you spend what you have. Because the fiscal indiscipline was becoming too much. We now have a fiscal council that's going to monitor the efficiency of our expenses. We have the value for money office at the Ministry of Finance, really looking at how much these state-owned enterprises spend. Now, we could also agree that the SWAT government had a very bloated administration. They had about 123 ministers. They had about 30 ministries. The fiscal managers have reduced the 123 ministers to about 60, and then have reduced those 30 ministries to about 23. What this basically means that the fiscal indiscipline looking at expenditure have reduced. Programs like the Ghana Cares or Basampa program, the You Start program, these are programs that were spending so much of the budget. Government has discontinued them as a method to correct the fiscal issues that we had. Now, when you look at our primary expenditure in the year 2024, it was around 18.7 to our GDP. It has reduced to about 13.2% of our GDP without hurting the economic growth that we've achieved. Now, government is saying that by the year 2034, they are going to publish a law through the parliament to ensure that at the end of every budget reading, we have a surplus of about 1.5% of our GDP. So it means going forward, we will not go to parliament and then present a budget and have a deficit. No, going forward, we are leaving that. Now, the second key transformational policy reform by this administration is to modernize Ghana's tax regime. Why do we need to do this? We lost investor confidence. A lot of businesses, you could see a lot of businesses leaving Ghana due to us losing value of the cedi. The government has ensured that modernizing Ghana's tax regime is also going to revive the private sector and provide relief for households. How have they achieved this? They have gone further to abolish the COVID-19 tax. They have abolished the emission tax. The 10% tax on betting has been abolished. The VAT on motor insurance has also been abolished. Now, one will argue that abolishing these taxes are going to reduce the inflows of revenues to government. Government is saying that they come into parliament, they are not even asking for a supplementary budget. They are thinking that if we already have a tax net, why don't we broaden the tax net rather than increasing taxes to the Ghanaian people? Those who are already existing in the tax net, why do you want to force them to pay more taxes whilst you can ensure that those who are trading in our economy and not paying taxes, we can bring them in. When you go to the ports, government has introduced the publican AI that is set in the budget to increase revenue about 15%. So you could see that as government is correcting the fiscal indiscipline that we have, they are also modernizing our tax system. The Ghana Revenue Authority is equally trying to increase their revenue base per the digitization of the VAT collections.
Okay.
So now VAT is not going to be just be a paper, you go, you take a receipt, but it's going to be transitioned into a digital space. And then finally, government has taken a key stance to ensure that we have a fiscal policy on managing inflation, and then ensuring that we have another policy together with the Ministry of Finance and the Bank of Ghana to stable our currency. So you could see that from January to June, our currency has been very stable. Yes, it is agreed that we are losing value a little to the major trading currencies, but we didn't get about 40% just to remain there. It's going to...
But in all these numbers,
Yes.
many people are asking, after the budgets we sent our comment, many people are asking, how does this translate from where you sit as an economist? How should government approach how this will translate into the pockets of the ordinary Ghanaian? What critical reforms? Now we've exited the IMF. Can we sort of say, even though we are under a PCI, can we sort of say we are sort of a free agent?
So there's this popular saying that when someone is sick, then the person recovers from the hospital, you don't expect the person to run. You expect the person to be able to stand up. Can the person walk? Then we go further to say that, yes, can the person run? Ghana has just recovered from a crisis that was self-inflicted.
Okay.
The crisis was so deep that it hurt the households and the pocket of every Ghanaian. Yes, inflation reducing to 5.3% doesn't mean that when you go to the market, the prices of goods are going to be cheaper. What it means is that the level at which prices increase in our economy is going to be very slow.
Okay.
So normally, if you could buy a bottle of water today at 2 cedis, tomorrow it goes to 3 cedis. It means when you go to buy a bottle of water at 2 cedis today, when you go tomorrow, the increase might be about 2 cedis, 5 pesos. That is what it means. But then the true measure of the economic stability that we are all preaching is when it reflects in the pockets of the everyday Ghanaian.
Absolutely.
So these two situations can coexist. However, the budget needs to ensure that this government's policies, because this government has put in a lot of policies to ensure that Ghanaian households have the benefits, the Feed Ghana program, the Grow Ghana program, and then ensuring that households are direct beneficiaries.
Okay.
The prices of fuel has been increased recently. We saw when the Iran and then the United States had their issue. What was government's response?
Okay.
We saw that this government had actually looked at the cost components that put together the pump price. They saw some taxes and were able to remove some taxes. And then the level at which Ghanaians were expecting the cost of these four commodities, the diesel, the petrol, and other petroleum products to increase, didn't increase like that. Even though it increased, it was increasing at an acceptable rate. However, I think one of the issues that we would have to look at is the attitude of some of the, I want to be careful with my words. For example, our drivers. If prices of fuel increases today, you will see that by afternoon, they will increase the price. But then if price of fuel reduces...
It's because we don't have a regulated transport sector.
Yes, it's the economy that we have. We currently have a free market economy.
Okay.
Government regulation and then participation is very minimal. A lot of proponents of our economy are saying that, a lot of economists and analysts are saying that, why don't we transition from this free market economy to a level where government has more input, government has more regulation and investment in the economy.
Okay.
And then looking at the budget, finally, looking at the budget, government has earmarked about 400 million Ghana cedis to provide basis to augment this issue. So it means that this government is listening and then putting in place measures to ensure that the macroeconomic stability that they have achieved is translating in the lives of the households.
Interesting.
Doc,
Yes.
government says it has exceeded the program targets. If you say exceeded the program targets, in a layman terms, how should we understand?
Yes, so let me first of all say good morning to our viewers, good morning to my fellow or colleague panelists and your good self. It's been several weeks since I came here,
Yes.
so I think let me commend you for the good work that you've been doing over the period. What it simply means is that when you go into an IMF program for policy credibility, for support, for technical assistance,
For cushioning.
yes, for cushioning, there are certain targets that you agree on with the IMF to be able to achieve over a certain period. For example, in 2025, the agreement that, per the IMF agreement, that Ghana was supposed to end 2025 with an exchange rate of about 15 Ghana cedis to a dollar. But we ended 2025 for about 10.4. This simply means that Ghana exceeded the targets under the IMF program. And it was rated by various credit rating agencies like Fitch, Moody's, S&P, and what have you. For example, in 2025, the agreement was that we're supposed to get somewhere over $10 billion as far as our gross international reserves is concerned. But we ended up getting over 13.9 billion. You understand the point I'm making? So within this short period of time, government has done extremely heavy lifting in order to place the economy where it is now.
Okay.
In order to see an inflation from 23.8% to 5.3% as we speak. From a 91-day treasury bill rate from 28% to about 5.7%. Interest rate over 30%, now doing over 11%. I won't talk about lending rate, I won't talk about CD depreciation, because in 2025, for the first time in several years, the Ghanaian cedi actually appreciated to the dollar. Over 40%.
That's actually.
Over 24% against the British pound and 37% against the euros. So, on all counts, there was the clearest indication that the NDC government and President John Dramani Mahama and the finance minister, Bank of Ghana governor, Gold Board, and all the other stakeholders, that the government has clearly demonstrated enough commitment, demonstrated enough experience over the management of the economy, unlike our predecessors. Clearly, they didn't know nothing about the management of the economy. They were just all over the place, engaging in political rhetoric and shifting blame from one leader to the other. That has not been seen under this government. So clearly, if you are listening to the finance minister last week during the mid-year review, you will see a government that had control and dominance over the management of the economy. A government that knew exactly what it was doing. A government that came into office, inherited a completely useless economy and turned it around into an economy that spurs growth. We have compassionate leadership heading the economy. We have sensitive leadership managing the Ghanaian economy. We have visionary and pragmatic leadership managing the affairs of the Ghanaian economy to see to it that we inherited a Ghanaian economy that had an exchange rate to a dollar of almost 16 Ghana cedis. Ended the year with about 10.3, 10.4. Today we are doing about 11.6. Clearly within the target set by His Excellency the President. Not only have we done that, really, government has been able to finance major key initiatives that it promised the people of Ghana.
Like?
Nobody can tell me that today, government has not expended over 1 billion Ghana cedis to Mahama Care. As we speak, only 2 or 3 weeks ago, His Excellency the President went to Kolebu Mahama Cares Initiative had actually set up a whole catheterization lab. Last week, the Minister for Government Communication, the Honorable Felix Kwashiorkor, indicated that as at last week, over 4 people had benefited from that initiative, undergoing various procedures under that program. They have also launched a 50-patient pilot program where they are seeing to the funding of several types of cancers and what have you. To realize the vision of the president to reduce mortality rates caused by these non-communicable diseases. Not only have we done that, indeed we are told that over $1.76 billion has been sent to the Bank of Ghana in an escrow account to finance the Big Push project. As we speak, over 87 of them are at several stages of completion. In fact, 13 of them, Lily, 13 of them are about 50% completion.
Another big push.
Another big push. We can see all the roads around this country. There's several bridges, the Dambai Bridge, the one at Afram Place and what have you. All these programs are ongoing. We have invested heavily in education. The first time we allocated over 3.4 billion Ghana cedis in free SHS to curtail the difficulties that the program inherited. Even the people that claim to have invested in our initiative could not invest such huge amounts in the implementation of the program. Today, we are not seeing headmasters threatening to close down schools because there are no foods. We have also invested heavily in the no fee stress policy that His Excellency the President promised the people of Ghana. As of last year, over 154,000 Ghanaian students had benefited from the program. We have seen incrementally over 10 times amount of money dedicated to District Assembly Common Fund. Over 4 billion has been expended this year alone for that program, clearly indicating the government's commitment to decentralize leadership and finance resource local governments to engage in what they are known to do better. You understand the point I'm making? So clearly, I can mention on and on and on. In fact, in energy sector, debt payment alone, last year we did over $1.4 billion paying IPPs and making sure that we keep our lights on. Not only are we doing that, Lily, do you know that there are plans to even build a new gas processing plant?
Yes.
To reduce the amount of money we spend on importing liquid fuel to power our power plants. Never mind that we have one gas processing plant that was built by the NDC government, the Atuabo gas plant. It is there. And making gains for this country, reducing the amount of money we spend on gas. There are several other energy projects that are going on. And I'm sure in my next submission, I will lay some of them for you.
In all of this, now that we've
hold on,
exited...
a second. Don't forget about the investments we are about to do this year as far as education is concerned. You know that when the finance minister read the media, he made it clear that over $300 million is being invested in secondary education infrastructure improvement program, where we are going to build new secondary schools, about 10 of them. We are going to rehabilitate about 150 existing schools. We are going to upgrade over 30 Class B secondary schools, Class C secondary schools to be.
What are the
and
timelines?
Over 20. It was going to start in earnest as far as the budget is. Is on the way of being approved. Never forget that we have also uncapped GET fund and allocated the highest amount of money to GET fund to ensure that all the remaining projects that have protracted and have
That's
not
what I'm
been able to
asking for
complete
timelines.
will also be
When
complete.
do you commence? How long are you anticipating?
As soon as the budget is approved, processes will start in terms of the rehabilitation and construction. And clearly, we are looking forward that by the end of our tenure, Ghanaians will see the heavy investment that we've done as far as education is concerned. Not only that, we have also, according to the budget, earmarked about $523 million for agricultural enclave road improvement program for feeder roads, where we are going to construct about 1,058 kilometers of feeder roads across the country.
So it appears you have dovetailed into the budget conversation. That's okay.
Clearly.
It
is part of it.
Yes,
yes, clearly.
You can also do that. Since
definitely.
It's part of our conversation.
I know my good brother will not be happy to discuss the budget because it clearly exposes how wasteful the MPP was, and nobody wants to listen to them.
They tell me the Kwashoko budget, by the way.
What do they mean by Kwashoko budget? They should tell us what they mean by
Kwashoko
budget.
tell us.
I'll be happy that he touches on the budget so that
Definitely.
clearly we can wait. So really, the signs are good. We have seen a government that has heavily invested in the social sector, a government that has heavily invested in capital expenditure, infrastructure development, and what have you.
Okay. One critical thing
and I'm happy that we've done all this within the framework of the budgetary allocation that we've done.
Right. One critical thing on my mind is government going to cushion Ghanaians in respect of the hostilities in the US-Iran war in terms of the energy sector? Because fuel prices are going to go up. Is government going to cushion Ghanaians?
First of all,
is that on the table as we speak?
First of all, you recall that only a few weeks ago, there was a cabinet meeting to disaggregate some of the taxes that are put on.
True. That's why I'm asking if that is on the table.
So government has demonstrated more than enough commitment on that. If there's a conversation that government has to do more, the government of President Mama is ever willing to do that. But even before that, the investment we have done in making sure that we have a stronger city is what has put us in a situation where we are not experiencing a liter of petrol as high as 30 Ghana cedis per liter. If it was under the MPP that the exchange rate was 16 Ghana cedis, I can tell you for a fact that we'll be buying petrol at 30 Ghana cedis per liter as we speak.
But according to energy analysts, we're going to be buying petrol as high as 17 cedis and diesel as high as 20 cedis.
I'm saying that
if government does not cushion Ghanaians by the end of this week.
I'm saying that the government has demonstrated beyond
That's
that.
what I'm asking. I mean, you're a presidential aide. That's what I'm asking. Is that something that's on the table?
I'm saying that we already have the track record of cushioning Ghanaians.
So is it on the table? Is it a yes or no?
It is definitely on the table of government. Just like we have demonstrated over the years.
Right.
You understand? And I'm saying that the investment we have done in making sure that we have a stronger city and a buoyant economy will already go a long way to cushion the people of Ghana.
Right.
So it is not a matter of uncertainty or a matter of doubt. It is a matter that is material to every conversation that we should have as far as these fuel prices are concerned. But I'm saying that we are where we are because of the investment we have done. If we had not done that investment, we would have been worse off. That's the point I'm making.
Okay. Council.
Lily, sorry. Let me say good morning once again to you, and permit me to say a special good morning to a personal person. His name is Enes Osum Kitia. He teaches at Asamanka Senior High School. He's shown loyalty to me over the years, and I want to say a big thank you to him. I appreciate him a lot. So this is a big platform to do such appreciation. I've listened to my brother Richmond and my good friend Dr. Aye. They just seem to appreciate one fact, that the basis for the economy as we have now is as a result of some interventions that were put in place by the previous governments. You know how the economy was really under the effects of COVID, 2022 and all that. So definitely, it wasn't going to be an economy which was going to be that friendly, because it was a worldwide phenomenon. But they would appreciate, especially the financial analysts, if my friend will not appreciate that, getting to the latter parts of 2023, going into 2024, there were significant progresses made in this economy. So, of course, there are some gains now. We don't dispute the fact the government has made some investments, but at least some references should be made to the interventions made by the previous government. And it is not as if the previous government put the economy into an abyss. It was the effect of COVID and all that, but significant changes were made towards the end of 2023 and 2024. So about IMF, it has always been the case that when IMF is in town, it's like the sheriff. Everybody acts well, and everybody does what is supposed to be done. But the moment they leave town, I mean, we all go haywire, and we've been there before. We know what happens when IMF leaves town. So the exiting is good news, but I would rather adopt a wait-and-see approach.
Okay.
That when the sheriff was in town, there were mentions of physical discipline, consolidations, living within the budget and all that. The moment sheriff leaves town, we know what happens. So in terms of the exit of the IMF, I would rather adopt a wait-and-see approach. That now that, of course, there's the PCI, but now that the IMF is sort of out of town, let's see what happens. So, yes, it's good news that we've exited. I mean, no one would want to have somebody looking through his businesses and all that in the person of IMF, shadowing everything we do as a country and all that. So it's good news, but on that score, I would say that let's wait and see what pans out after the exit. That is all I'll say. Yes.
Since they touched on the budget, let me also allow you to touch on
Yes,
the budget.
yes, yes.
Let's start the budget conversation.
Oh, well, okay. I thought we were going to probably start the budget conversation with the analyst. But
he has touched a bit
yes,
on it.
I could start with the conversation of the...
Right.
Yes.
For some members of the NPP in Parliament,
Sure.
you don't seem satisfied with the budget review. I've heard some members of the minority term it the Kwashiorkor budget.
Yes.
Why?
Well, for most parts, as repetitions of what the main budget did, because you see, there's a reason for media review. You know, there's usually the main budget beginning of the year, then there is a media review. What the media review budget is supposed to do is to look into what the budget had projected and see if there will be some interventions, and not to come and give us a repetition of what the main budget had proffered. If you do that, then that is not a media review, because the media review is supposed to offer government some insight to come with interventions, to ask ourselves, this is what we had projected to do. Is it going well? What do we do now? So you would realize that previous finance ministers usually would go to Parliament and ask for maybe further amount of money or some, because the media budget is supposed to be some intervening processes, okay? Because once the main budget has been read and there's a media budget, it's supposed to address some of the concerns the previous budget had not been able to do. And for me, that is where I thought it didn't do much. Okay. So I'll tell you what. You know, sometime 2 weeks ago, the National Development Planning Commission touted the growth in the economy. You know, there was a mention of a 6.4 growth in the economy as a jobless growth. Why did the National Development Planning Commission describe it as a jobless growth? Because it said it was never linked to employment. There's so much unemployment, there's so much youth unemployment in the system. So one would have expected that a media budget review will come with some interventions which will address youth unemployment, which will address there's so many people on the streets who are not getting any employment. And for me, the budget, as read media, did not offer much. You remember, in the main budget, there was a mention of the 401 million cedis for the women's development banking. I was expecting, I love to see this thing come up. I was expecting that at least in the media budget, some mention will be made to the progress of the Women's Development Banking. Because honestly for me, I thought that would help cushion the youth, especially in terms of employment and all that. So with me, I didn't see much in terms of interventions for employment. That is the first one. Then the government's flagship program, the 24-hour economy. I'm sure my good friend, Doctor himself, will not be happy about the statement made by the finance minister himself. He says that it is now gathering momentum. This was the poster message, this was the campaign message for the NDC, in coming into 2024 elections. Then for the finance minister to say that it is now gathering momentum, I thought it was a bit worrying for a flagship program as huge as the 24-hour economy, which was the mainstay of the NDC campaign in 2024, and now we are in 2026. The finance minister says it is now gathering momentum. He didn't even just end there. He alluded to the fact that about 288 fuel stations, 12, I know my good friend Dr. Aya is here, 12 public institutions doing one of, I would want to see those public institutions. You're a journalist, you could send your people there, because the finance minister made a categorical statement that about 12 public institutions are running a 24-hour economy. We have to put them to test and ask which institutions are these. There's a mention of the passport office. They should tell us the 12 public institutions and whether it has translated into any job creation. It should not just be about speeches saying that we have about 12 public institutions running a 24-hour economy. How has it translated into job creation? So for me, it should have been interventions in terms of the current happenings in the economy. As for the fiscal discipline, the stability of the city, we have already patted the government at the back. I mean, in the previous budget reading. So to repeat them without any real interventions, especially in terms of employment of the young people of this country, I thought it was a bit worrying. So that is why probably some may have described, because it was the National Development Planning Committee which brought to the attention of the government that the growth we are seeing in the economy is not translating into employment. So at least there should have been some interventions to this effect. There's a mention of Nkukor Kitinkiti, and the finance minister only mentioned the amount of money which has been dispersed to the Nkukor Kitinkiti, not addressing the problem and the difficulties facing. So for me, I thought that, yes, I mean, there are gains in terms of macroeconomy and all that, but it has not translated more into youth unemployment. And it is very crucial for me because it is not easy, this, especially those of us who are a bit politically exposed. Day in, day out, we are inundated by a lot of people, a lot of young people asking for employment and all that. So that is why I thought that the media budget fell short. So for me, if the minority has described, or some people have described it as a Koshoko, media statements, I think probably they may have their reasons. But for me, especially in terms of employment, it hasn't done so much. It hasn't done so much. Nothing really was specifically mentioned. There was a mention of the Jumapa, which the minister gave some 4,000. I mean, Ejumera says about 4,300. If we really want to interrogate some of these submissions and see if indeed they've translated into real employment creation for the people of Ghana. So for me, I thought that there should have, especially when a lot of economic watchers have indicated that the growth in the economy we are getting is not translating into job creation. And there's so many youth out there who are unemployed. There should have been some interventions, at least on the part of the finance minister, to address these issues. So that is where my concern is. But I have one appeal. I come from an oil palm growing area. The media mentioned 500 million oil palm development financing. This is a personal appeal. I was born in Achimikusi. That is where the Oil Palm Research Institute is. This would go a long way to help and support my people. This should not end, and it shouldn't be a lip service mention. It should be something which should be implemented to help bring some relief to the people of Achimkusi and its environment. So I would say that, yes, I mean, in terms of economic gains, physical discipline and all that, we'll pat the government at the back. But in terms of job creation and interventions to create employment for youth, I think the budget was lacking. That is what I'll say.
Okay, let me take a break. When I come back, I see that Dr. Aye has been writing a lot of notes, and the economists as well. Stay with me. You're welcome back to the show. This is still GH Today here on GHOne TV, and it's still the breakfast with you. My guests are still here, Bernard, Richmond, and Sunny. Doc, I saw that when he was...
yes, my good brother Oredo has clearly demonstrated that the MPP is not serious to have any proper discourse.
How?
No, you have to be sure. That's
you
very
see, I have to be very candid.
Oh, no, that's very
because
unfair.
you've made several claims
very
about
unfair.
the mid-year budget review.
That's
that
very
clearly
unfair.
shows that.
No.
You guys
Sammy,
have
you need
not.
to, Sammy,
no,
you need to withdraw
let me
that
make
statement.
my point.
We are very good people.
Let
here.
me make my point.
You need to withdraw that statement.
Oredo, Council, let me make my point.
You need to withdraw.
Because if you seriously want to engage the people of Ghana, you must demonstrate that you have followed what the finance minister said.
Okay.
Before I even get there, he said that, the gains we are making now is because of some interventions that the MPP did and it has been passed on to the MPP government, NDC government, because of COVID-19, the struggle. As for that, I don't even want to respond to it because at the mention of COVID-19, the people of Ghana begin to get angry because everybody knows how we manage COVID-19 and how COVID-19 money was shared like chicken and confetti among the MPP. So I will not even want to get there. That claim does not even make sense anymore. Number two, he makes the point that, there are some interventions that the MPP... What intervention? Is it that DD? Is it the DDEP?
DDP.
The DDP that you people expropriated over 100 billion from the people of Ghana, making sure that people do not get the investments and the interest on their savings is what you want to pass on. As some interventions that the MPP did. I think this is the height of disrespect to the people of Ghana. And the height of disrespect to the over 1 million people that lost their money through the domestic debt exchange program. It must not be repeated on this platform that it was an intervention. Please, let's respect the people of Ghana. Or is it good for oil? That ended up disastrously. What really are the interventions that the MPP did that they claim is what has brought us where we are today. So I'm hoping that he brings us more evidence to tell us exactly what they did. He said that, the mid-year budget review as read by the finance minister was just repetition and nothing substantive. I want to ask him that the $300 million of the secondary education infrastructure improvement program that was announced by the finance minister, was it a repetition of the main budget? Which page of the main budget as read in November last year made mention of this initiative? For which reason anybody will say that it is a repetition? The $523 million agricultural enclave road improvement program, as mentioned by the finance minister, which page of the 2026 budget as read in November 2025 captured this initiative? Please, let's respect the people of Ghana. If this whole mid-year budget has knocked you off, has put the MPP in a state of concussion, they should not come and waste our time engaging in all manner of commentary. A whole mid-year budget review, the MPP's response is to mention Chairman GHOne to me. They have no serious response and no serious conversation about this whole initiative. And you see, Lily, the MPP has demonstrated beyond doubt that they are not making good use of the young people in their party.
How?
Because if they are serious about engaging in any public discourse on the 24-hour economy, they should have lined up all the brilliant young people in the MPP to do a simple research on how far the 24 hours economy has gone. First of all, the president made a promise in the 120-day social contract that he will set up the necessary legal framework within the first 120 days to implement 24 hours economy. Did His Excellency the President not appoint an advisor on 24 hours economy at the Jubilee House? He did. Mr. Gusitano, he did it. In fact, between January 2025 and June 2025, there were several consultations all across this country. After that, somewhere in July, His Excellency the President launched the program. After that, the 24-hour economy authority was actually established and the bill passed in Parliament. In February this year, His Excellency the President assented to the 24-hour economy bill. After that, this is a statement released by the 24-hour economy authority itself. This was on 16 July 2026 when Kojo Oponkroma made a statement in Parliament concerning how effective or ineffective the 24-hour economy is. The authority actually issued a statement detailing exactly what they have been doing over the period. This is the statement. You can look at it. When you finish, give it to you. You have a copy and I've given it to you. When you read significant portions of the statement, they tell you exactly what they are doing. Apart from the numerous state institutions that have landed 24-hour economy, like the Assembly Press, the Temaport, YEA, the DVLA Passport Office, and what have you.
Ghana Publishing,
PSC, also known as Assembly Press, Shipyard, and what have you. Government has gone ahead to actually, on behalf of the 24-hour economy authority, to go into development partnerships to a tune of over $5.5 billion to ensure that several initiatives are put in place to increase our production and increase our exports. And I want to mention some of them to you. And if MPP are taking this whole conversation serious, they would have read about this program. The National Petroleum Authority on May 12, 2026 actually landed 24-hour economy, where they are operationalizing over 268 fuel stations to run 24 hours. There are 8 bulk storage points where we will see a continuous 24-hour discharge at their terminals and their oil jetties. 24-hour running of 2 refineries, that are oil refining and Central Oil, under this program. Not only that, go to Bupe. There is this Bupe solar and battery project, a $1.45 billion investment that will generate about 1,500 megawatts of industrial power to create over 13,000 jobs in Bupe. Go to Bupe, you see it. If you had been serious about criticizing government on the 24-hour economy, you see it. It is expected that the first phase will be completed in the 3rd quarter of 2027 to provide all these jobs. Go to Pandai in the northern region. There's this Kambonwule oil palm complex, a $250 million investment that will produce 228,000 tons of crude palm oil a year at its maturity. It is expected that it will create over 120,000 jobs. When you go to Tamale, there is the Tamale Air Cargo Hub under this 24-hour economy secretariat in partnership with Ghana Airport Company, where lands have been demarcated and concessions have been given, and it's expected that this whole activity will be operated by 2027. When you, in the same Bupe, there is this bioenergy program at Bupe and Damanko to create over 30,000 direct and indirect jobs. I can go on and on and on and on to demonstrate to you exactly what the 24 hours economy authority and the secretariat is doing to make sure that this program is implemented. Then you decide to cocoon yourself in a bubble of delusion and denial and create an impression as though nothing is going on under the authority. Meanwhile, there is significant work going on.
You don't no, I know. Let me ask this.
Even before that, when they were in opposition, these were the same people criticizing the authority that the program was useless, the program was not well couched, and it will not do any meaningful work for the people of Ghana.
Because a number of your communicators could not explain the 24 hours.
It is not true. The MPP decided not to understand it. They were the ones that...
But you promised 133 jobs. I will allow you, but please allow me. Please allow me. Let me moderate. Let me moderate the program. Adok, you promised 133 jobs. You've enumerated the things that the Secretariat says it is doing.
Yes.
But how many 133 jobs are out there?
Clearly, I'm saying that. When you go to this, especially MPA, they can tell you exactly the number of people that have gotten jobs because of this program. Hold on. The project that I mentioned, in Bupe, Pandai, and what have you. If these projects actually become operational, the people of Ghana will know the number of people who have been employed and the shift that will be running. But it is insufficient and does not make sense for anybody to sit somewhere and create the impression that nothing at all has been occasioned under this program. And that is the kind of politics and propaganda that the MPP does. So for today, let it be on record that the MPP's criticism of 24 hours economy is completely baseless and useless. The program has its timelines. In fact, they have told us that by the end of 2028, over 1.7 million jobs will be created, so that the young people in this country, at the end of 2028, 1.7 million people would have been employed under this initiative. Okay. And by the end of 2034, we will see unemployment rate reducing to as low as 5%. That is one aspect. So
by the end of
2034.
2034.
Unemployment rate will reduce
from the 13
that 14.7 we inherited.
No, but currently it's at 13. So
yes.
so
gradually we are doing something. So that's the point. So the criticism of 24 hours economy does not make sense. They should end it. Indeed, one of the claims they've made is that Richard, and you are the technocrat and the economist, and you made mention of it. That Richmond, that it was a Kosciuszko government.
Kosciuszko budget.
Kosciuszko budget. And Kosciuszko government. And at the end of the day, the government is not spending. It is one of the claims that the MPP has been making over the period.
Yes.
And it goes a long way to also establish and give credence to what I've made mention of. That the MPP is not serious about using their young people. Because a simple AI search will show that beyond the criticisms and politics, this government is expending in critical sectors of the economy more than the MPP that claim to be expending. Let me show you.
Sectors like?
Let me show you.
Okay.
This document, and I'm sure you have it.
Yes, I do.
Core macro expenditure items. Lily, go to compensation.
Okay, compensation of employees.
Yes, in the first quarter of 2026, we've paid over 48 billion.
48.8 billion.
Yes. The MPP that claimed to be spending, what did they do in the first quarter?
29.
Over 20 billion more than what the MPP did in 2024. Go to interest payment. 21.5 billion. What did the MPP do in the first quarter of 2024?
19.3 billion.
Go to Eurobond debt service.
$700 million.
As for the MPP, they didn't even write what they did in 2024. Yeah. Go to domestic bond holding. We did 10 billion. They didn't even. They
said it was part of the broader
DDEP program. Go to
capital expenditure.
Yes, good. Even look at energy sector. Over 7.1 billion was paid in the first quarter after all this heavy lifting we've done. Go to statutory or earmarked funds. Lily, have you seen it? National Assembly Common Fund. Whilst we paid 4.4 billion in the first half of 2026, they did how much, Lily?
362
we are doing 4.4 billion. You did 362 billion, but you said somewhere and claim that million, and you said somewhere and claim that government is not spending. This one alone is 10 times of what they spent. Go to NHIS. We did 4.5 billion in first half. The whole year, what did they budget for? 6.5 billion. We are doing 4.5 in first half. The whole year 2024, you people budgeted for 6.5. At the end of the day, they didn't even pay. Get fund. We've done 4.5 billion in first half. Their whole budget for 2020 only 3.27. Road maintenance trust fund. We have done 1.7 in the first half.
They budgeted 1.19.
Exactly. GMPC and mineral development. I can go on it. Lily, go back to other expenditures. Go to school feeding program. In the first half, we have done 877 million. How much have they done?
They did the whole year,
only 1.3. We have done. Our first half is almost the same as what they did in 2024. Go to LEAP. We did 487 million. The whole year, they did only 628. Capitation grants, YEA, teacher training, nursing training, no fee stress, and what have you. Not forgetting the big push and the Mohammed.
The no fee stress has been voted as one of the good policies by this administration.
Yes.
Yesterday, there was a poll by the Global Info Analytics.
Yes. So really, we are spending judiciously. We are spending wisely. We are spending in critical sectors of the economy to make sure that the economy is buoyant. We will not go and spend $100 million in National Cathedral.
But when it comes to
and make sure that the people of Ghana suffer malaria from that stagnant water that was left there.
But when it
We will
comes
not
to the
spend
24-hour
billions
economy,
of Ghana cedis
as I mentioned,
to give to the president to fly private, luxurious private jets.
Okay, so
and so we are spending wisely.
when it comes
we
to
are
the
spending
24-hour
judiciously.
economy,
Yes.
when it comes to the
Look,
policy
allow the
meeting
host
yesterday,
to-
Ghanaians say that they do not see the 24-hour economy.
I'm
reflected.
saying that. I have demonstrated to you. I'm saying that all this narrative.
No, this was a survey done by Global Info Analytics.
And you see, to be very honest, I clearly understand the position they find themselves in. 24-hour economy is a major policy.
Okay.
When you go outside the country like Australia, UK, and the US, it took several years to implement that program. We are only 18 months in government. Government must put in place the necessary steps. We did not just implement the program. We actually set up a secretariat and an authority backed by law to make sure that this program runs. That is a mark and a sign of a government that is serious about implementing a program.
One of the other
You understand the point
sectors
I'm making?
they
So I'm saying
say
that
the
going
finance
forward-
minister failed to touch on is on the cocoa sector.
Yes.
I heard him talk
Yes.
about the cocoa bill.
Yes.
That is in the office.
Yes. In fact, the kind of heavy lifting that we've done in Cocoa Board will amaze you. Do you know that Cocoa Board was so broke that they were owing finance ministry $70 million they couldn't pay? Because of that, President Mama has lifted that debt from Cocoa Board.
Okay.
And is making sure that finance ministry will go to parliament.
So who
And
pays the bill? Government of Ghana?
So they have taken
So they
off
have
that debt.
offset.
Yeah, so that they'll go to parliament for approval to make sure that they were owing Rose Ministry billions of Ghana cedis because of the reckless dissipation of funds they did as far as Cocoa Rose is concerned. We have lifted that debt to Rose Ministry.
So it means that
But what
we
government
will
is doing
no
that-
longer have cocoa roads
So,
under cocoa board.
so I'm saying that if roads are supposed to be constructed, they should be constructed by Rose Ministry, not
Okay,
Cocoa
not
Board.
okay.
At the end of the day, the government is making sure that the new financing model that we are doing we will raise local cocoa bills and cocoa bonds so that we can locally procure money.
All right.
And make sure that we turn around the fortunes of cocoa board. At the end of the day, 50% of what is coming from cocoa board will be processed in Ghana.
Okay,
Building
let-
our
let-
local
let-
industry.
let-
That is what innovative and visionary leaders do.
Let
So
me hear
Lily,
from Richmond.
the criticisms of the MPP are completely baseless.
Okay.
They have no merit.
Okay.
They have no legs to stand on. And the people of Ghana should keep faith with the government of President John Dramani Mahama and the NDC. And that at the end of the 4 years, all of us can agree and come to the inevitable and irresistible conclusion that the NDC is worlds apart from the MPP and that we are on course to deliver on the mandate that has been given us.
Okay. Let me hear from Richmond.
So I think that we've come to a space where the issues about government spending or government not spending has to be critically looked at. I have come from my professional background, and I'm looking at the numbers. The first question we need to ask is that should the conversation be about government should spend? Now we know that if we want to manage our inflation, even spending can increase government's inflation. Are we not learning lessons from what happened in the past? We saw this conversation whereby the erstwhile government, if you look at the corruption cases, allegedly about 20 billion could be raised from the oral issues. That means that about 20% of our gross domestic product
Do you believe those figures?
had gone said allegedly,
Okay.
had gone into waste. So it means that as they were spending, allegedly, we've lost about 20% of our GDP to corruption issues. Now, coming down to the 24-hour economy, I keep having a problem because when someone says 24-hour, what does it mean? It basically means that you are working beyond the traditional working hours. The traditional working hours is from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So anybody who is working beyond the traditional working hours is involved in 24-hour economy.
Rich,
Now-
this one I disagree with you.
Now, what is
Hold on,
happening is
I'll give you the opportunity.
the end goal is productivity. If you are working beyond the traditional working hours and then there is no productivity, then it is ground zero. From my professional point of view, once again, I feel that every policy needs structures, needs infrastructure, and then needs the the manpower to back it. That is why we saw that this government went into parliament to pass the 24-Hour Development Authority Act. That gives them the legal backing to go ahead on what they want to do. If you critically look at the mid-year fiscal review, they are saying that they have poached about 12 billion US dollars to invest in the 24-hour economy. It's not going to be a 9-day wonder. The reason why government is promising 24-hour economy is to ensure that there are jobs for the young people. So if the 24-hour economy and its accelerated export development program does not translate into jobs by the end of the administration, then we can hold them responsible. Because if after 18 months, we are saying that we are holding them responsible, that's why you could hear Sami saying that they have taken steps. What are the steps that they have taken? They have gone to seek legislation by introducing the 24-Hour Economic Development Authority Act. Then after that, they are doing the Volta Economic Corridor. They have gained about 650,000 hectares of land legally to back the Volta Economic Corridor. So you could see that the 24-hour economy is not a supermarket business or a tabletop business formula that this current government is looking at. They are looking at transforming our economy. If you go to the energy sector, looking at the budgets, transformers, about 2,000 of them are going to be procured to finance and then sustain the 24-hour economy. We talk about street lights. We don't have lights to work in the evening. About 10,000 solar-powered street lights are being procured in this budget. So you could see that they are putting in the infrastructure and then the necessary economic structures in place. I know Doc might not want to agree on this one.
He's a counsel. This is Doc.
The lawyer might not want to agree on this one, but he also needs to understand that the basic definition of putting up, let's say, one district, one factory, it's not just about putting up power to the factory. Even location counts.
Exactly.
If the location that you are putting the business is not viable, it's ground zero, it's cost zero. Recently, I was reading an article and then someone was saying that, oh, there's a conversation about Star Oil and then GHOne. Why is Star Oil making so much profit and then GHOne is not making so much profit? Star Oil is selling more quantities or volumes of fuel as compared to GHOne, when GHOne has more filling stations than them. When it comes to government businesses, their first priority is never profit. There are so many things that count. Why would government go and put up a filling station somewhere in a village where he knows very well that the economic returns on that very business is not going to be prudent? But Star Oil will never do that. They will put up their filling stations at where they see that, no, if I put my filling station here, the daily returns is going to be beneficial to their business. So we need to also accept the fact that the 24-hour economy and its accelerated export development program is not going to be a 9-day wonder. Structures will be put in place. And then I am happy that looking into the budget, you could see that the 24-hour economy markets are coming up. In all of each 24-hour economy market, we are having a women development bank. I was listening to the lawyer and then he was saying that, oh, some 400 million has been put aside for the women's bank.
The previous budget.
Yes, in the previous budget. He was expecting that in this budget, they will update us what has happened. But you know, when it comes to banking, the Bank of Ghana governor recently said that giving credit to businesses is an issue that he is particularly looking at, because the banks are not able to do much because of their capitalization issues. You know, they need to meet their minimum capital requirements as they're even financing businesses. So if a bank takes a huge sum of money to invest in a particular sector and it doesn't work out, they will lose their license, as we have seen in the past. The monetary rates have also been coming down. All these are plans being put in place to ensure the effectiveness of the 24-hour economy once it rolls out. I am not speaking for the government, but I, as a young person who is making sure that at the end of the day, the 24-hour economy translates into jobs for my fellow young people, I would say that we'll look through what they are doing. Now, when it comes to the compensation of public workers, how much is revenue that we've generated in the first half of the year? About 120 billion. And then they have spent close to about 50 billion, 48.8, just on compensation. We are saying we want jobs, we want jobs, we want jobs. Compensation alone is going close to about 40 to 50% of the revenues that we are bringing in. And then you hear opposition saying that they are not spending. Meanwhile, when they were spending, allegedly, once again, over 20% of their GDP was going into corruption-related cases. So I think that the conversation should not just be around spending. Now, for example, if you're in a household, my good brother K. Kujo posted a very beautiful piece on Facebook this morning. If you're making 1,000 cedis as your revenue, and then you are spending 700 cedis, let's say, for example, you have used 1,000 cedis to renovate your house, and then you claim to have spent 700 cedis, and then your roof is still leaking. Have you spent prudently? Yes. But have you solved the situation?
No.
You haven't solved the situation. So you could see that from lawyer's point of view, he is very right. But then if you are able to use that 700 Ghana cedis to solve the situation, then we say that what you are spending prudently. There are issues of national service personnel not getting their allowances on time. There are issues of teachers, teacher trainee, and then nursing trainee not getting their allowances on time. There are issues of how much of the nursing trainees and teacher trainees who are home that will be enrolled or given their appointment letters to work. Government needs to ensure that as they are looking at the numbers, they are factoring in these young people. There needs to be a political will beyond all the numbers that we have, because I think unemployment is becoming a national security issue. They are always threatening demonstration. The Minister for Education was on City yesterday speaking about how by November they will roll out another employment for about 16,000 in 2 tranches. What we want to see is government, despite the compensation that they are paying, they should find a way to bring on board the young people into the working economy. Because as they are coming in, they are paying taxes. Now, from the 48.4 billion that they have paid on compensation, about 4 billion value of that has gone back to SNIT and then the Tier 2 pension scheme. Now, recently, I had a conversation with the Bank of Ghana governor saying that he doesn't understand why, as a growing economy like us, we keep going to have external funding. Of course, we could easily look at the pension funds that we have in the country. This 4 billion that we are giving to SNIT and then the Tier 2 pension schemes, how are they investing it? That's also another source of funding that we need, because this is money that is being given to pension funds to manage.
Is it
They should
always
invest it
dangerous
back
to touch pensions?
But you need value. Money has time value.
They themselves can even invest it like this.
4 billion on Monday morning. It's not 4 billion on Monday evening.
Yeah.
Money has time value. It's either it's appreciating or it's depreciating. So there needs to be a conversation about how governments can also have access to these contributions to develop our economy. We cannot go and put about 100 billion in pension funds sitting somewhere because we believe that if we touch it, we are risking the future. Even we breathing is also a risk. You crossing the road is also a risk.
Okay.
So this is a conversation that we also need to have. And then finally, there is this macroeconomic convergence about the ECO. The economic states want to roll out the ECO currency by the end of June 2027. I can tell you on authority that Ghana is one of the economies that are leading that conversation. Because if you look at the macroeconomic indicators, even compared to the superior economies in Africa or West Africa like Nigeria, we are doing far better than them. So I think that, yes, jobs needs to be looked at. However, growth should not just be on paper. Growth should reflect in creating employment to young people. If we say our economy is growing at a rate of 6.4% of GDP, and then we are not creating enough employment for young people, then what are we growing for?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
I'm going to go into other matters.
Yes.
Oh, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's touch on oral.
Oral.
Yes. The Deputy Attorney General has mentioned that there are about 30 cases
coming up.
which will be prosecuted. One of the major songs of the NPP is that oral is dead. Is oral dead indeed for you as the NPP?
Well, for me, I think probably it's a question to put to government. We have always maintained as a party that we believe in accountability. We believe that this is not the first time we've been in government and out of government. I mean, between 2000 and 2008, the NPP was in power. We were out of power. There was issues of accountability, our people stayed and all that. So we have always maintained and believed that everybody should be accountable for his stewardship. And it's the reason why we were of the view that the figures being shown around, as even alluded to by my colleague here, 20 million something, was unsubstantiated. So in as much as we believe that, yes, some persons within our administration may have done something which were probably not well on top of it, we still believe in accountability. As to how many cases are pending and all that, we believe that the best place to have such discussions is the law courts. I'm just a bit worried about this posturing of the government, and especially the Attorney General, about running to the media to bring out cases before they are even filed in courts. That particular posturing is a bit worrying. So media takes over the prosecution. Certain remarks are made by certain people even before the cases are filed in court. You see, when that happens, what it does is that it opens up the judiciary for unfair comments and criticisms. Because, for instance, take the Dubuahi, Hanan, all of them, even recently, my good brother Miracle, there's a media discussion whilst there's nothing in court. So that is what I think that it's something which should not be encouraged. If people are to face the accountability as per their stewardship, the best place is to go to court. So now, sounding the bell like there are 30 cases coming up for what should they do? What's the effect of that? So this is what I want to discourage. It's unfortunate that this whole media trial and media gimmicks are happening under the auspices of my good friend Dr. Ayene. I think it should not be encouraged. So when you do that, everybody who is not even seized with the matter will just say anything at all. And at the end of the day, it is the judiciary that suffers. So for me, whether 100 oral cases or 30 oral cases coming up or pending, our people are ready to face accountability. Some of our people are already in courts and they are having their day in court. The best place to talk about these matters are the courts of law. So as to whether 100, 50, 30, our party is never afraid of accountability. Everybody is ready to face accountability. And we believe in our judiciary. Just the only problem is how we run to the media before these cases are filed. So when that happens, then it becomes a media game. Everybody will be speaking. And it puts the judiciary under some sort of pressure. So as to whether 30 or 40, the courts and these people, remember, our criminal jurisprudence is such that everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But the danger in these media gimmicks is that they put those messages out there and sort of condemns the people even before they have their day in court. So it is not wrong probably for government communication or the Office of the Attorney General to probably update us on cases, but sometimes they go into the details. Some of them even talk about the culpability of all these persons. So, Lily, for us as a party, we believe in accountability. Whether 100 oral cases are coming up or 50 oral cases are coming up, everybody will have his day in court. And so what I want us to avoid, especially this is an advice to government, is to stop the media gimmicks and the media games. If you have enough evidence to arraign somebody before the court, just do it. Let the court correspondents, the court reporters speak about the charges, speak about the happenings in court. You don't come to the media and talk about cases you want to file before court and all that. So as a party, I reiterate the fact that we are ready for accountability.
Look.
Oh, yes. Lily, I think that the MPP should tell us exactly what they want us to do as far as management of communication around investigations are concerned. When the Attorney General holds press conferences and carries the public along on exactly what investigations they are doing or about to do or what information they have and for which reason they will be putting it up in court. They criticized the Attorney General of
Media trial.
media trials. Is that not it? On several occasions.
Yeah.
But if investigative bodies also arrest certain people and communications have not come on it within a specific time, they complain that nobody is talking to them. So exactly what do they want government to do? Already, this is a program they never believed in. This is a program they have always been skeptical about. This is a program that they have been lampooning and, dismissing. That Ora was a figment of the NDC's own imagination, and the NDC cannot even arrest a lizard. Come to even talk of arresting any MPP official. That has been the position of the MPP. So how is it suddenly that now people are getting arrested, people are lined up for investigation and being tried in court? Suddenly the MPP have changed their narrative that somebody is hounding them and that we are prosecuting them and that people are undergoing unfair prosecution, people are now political prisoners and a whole lot. They should tell us exactly what they want the government to do so that we do it for them. Because the noise is too much. There is no serious prosecution or attorney general or state institution that will engage in, trials in court and will not carry the public along. That is why right after a court proceeding, either the attorney general or even counsel for the defendants actually engage the media so that they can carry the public along. There is nothing wrong with it. But I can assure you that, Lily, just like the Deputy Attorney General rightfully said, Oral is on course. Oral is fully active. Oral is fully active. And I can tell you that we will go every extraordinary mile so long as it is within the framework of the laws. So long as it does not lead to the infringement on the rights of anybody, to make sure that the feet of appointees, people who have been alleged to be engaged in some financial malfeasance, people who have deliberately stolen money, people who have caused financial loss to the state, their feet will be held to the fire of accountability. One of the reasons why the people of Ghana voted for us is that the level of corruption that overwhelmed the MPP was too much. And that if the people of Ghana, if we think, and if we want the people of Ghana to take us serious, people must be held before the courts to answer for their stewardship. And that is exactly what this government is doing. And I can assure them that nobody's rights will be infringed upon. We'll go through the processes. We'll make sure that they are done expeditiously, no delays, and people will be given the right opportunities to have their day in court. Nothing untoward will happen. And I want to commend the Attorney General and the Deputy Attorney General and all the other people who are engaged in these legal processes. That the work they are doing is for this country. It is for the benefit of this country. The young people of this country are looking up to them. The young people of this country are looking up to them so that in cases like the National Service Trial, where it is on record that over 2 billion Ghana cedis has been lost, it is alleged. And please, the people of Ghana watching me this morning should know that I'm saying that it is alleged.
Because it's not been proven by any competent.
So they are still in court.
So they are in court. That is alleged that 2 billion.
They're actually in court this morning.
Yes, on this matter. If indeed it is true that the money has been stolen, do you know what 2 billion can do for us?
They said if it is believed. Don't conclude on those assumptions.
No, I'm saying that if it comes to light and court pronounces that they indeed stole the money, do you know what that money can do for this country?
When you ask that question, you're concluding.
Oh, please. I said if it is a conditional statement. So listen to me. Lawyer, listen to me. Why you don't want to listen to me? You are my good friend. Why don't you want to listen to me? Listen to me. I'm saying that if it comes to light.
If it is indeed proven.
2
because the
billion can
burden
do a lot
of
for
proof
us.
lies on the attorney.
The same goes to the buffer stock issue. If that money is given to Ghana,
And the National Signal Bureaus,
and the number, the Sky Train and what have you, it goes to the benefit of the state. And that is what young people of this country are looking up to this government to do. And we will not fail the people of Ghana on it. Anybody that has found a way to steal or siphon state resources in the previous regime, and even under this regime, will make sure that they vomit that amount of money. And I will urge the MPP that to even save their image and to even court the sympathy of the people of Ghana, they must even collaborate with government. Richard?
Yes.
They collaborate with government.
On what grounds?
On oral.
Okay.
They must support government.
Okay.
To do what exactly?
That if government is doing its investigation before they go to court, they must support government.
Our people have been cooperating.
Yeah, I'm saying that the kind of skepticism that we are seeing from the MPP communicators, you have not done that. But some of the MPP communicators, it does not bode well for the image of the party.
Okay.
Because they must not be seen as a party that, harbors people who engage in financial malfeasance. For example, the way a manner they are encouraging Kenoforiata not to come to Ghana.
Oh no, please. Who is encouraging?
Lawyer Frank Davis has encouraged Kenoforiata not to come to Ghana. Kofi Bento has encouraged Kenoforiata not to come to Ghana.
Kofi is now an MPP member.
But everybody knows.
Oh, come on.
Richard Ahiangba and many seasoned MPP people have said Kenoforiata should not come to Ghana.
Where did they say that?
Oh, on many platforms.
Like traditional or social media?
No, traditional. Mr. Kofi Bento has said it on New Day, News File, and a number of platforms.
Okay.
Richard Ahiangba, same. Frank Davis, same. Who is the lawyer? One of the lawyers for Kenoforiata.
Yes.
They've made several categorical claims. The man does not have to come. And these are MPP stalwarts. So if the stalwarts of the MPP are encouraging a man to flee from accountability, it means that the MPP is not happy about accountability. And this is not a party that we must encourage to do that, because at the end of the day, they are a stakeholder in the Ghanaian affairs. How is it that the whole political party that has been in government and has occupied the reins of government for several years are now running away with their tail in between their legs from accountability? You understand the point? So I'm urging you, you are a lawyer, a respected one, of course, to talk to your party that we need their support as far as oral is concerned, so that the little money this country has and people have stolen, allegedly stolen, they will return it to this country, so that we can use it profitably for the good of this country. That's the little.
Let me give this assurance to my brother. You remember what the president said?
You can give the assurance, but your people are not.
But he's a member of the NPP leadership.
But he has demonstrated that no, he's really a statesman. He loves this country. But these people, no. They are clearly demonstrating that no, they don't want any accountability. And it's not good for the image of the party.
So far, Gifty is facing trouble. Hanan is facing trouble. There is a Dubois here. Yes. There is a Sky Train for the Samia.
Yes.
And now you claim you're investigating. Is that also the Ken matter?
He is the doyen.
No, but for Ken, it's an OSP matter, isn't it?
But he's still, OSP is a creature of law.
You see, that
he still should be able to come to Ghana.
No, you see,
I'll
just give you the numbers.
Now, Lily, he is going ahead to even get citizenship. Yes. Why would you say you are our father?
No.
When we're asking
did he say he was a father?
Yes, when we were asking him to resign, he said no, he's a good father. He will not leave his children astray.
Yeah.
In times of need, he will stay by his children and make sure that they are well taken.
But his children,
suddenly you are running away from the Ghanaian passport and you are seeking refuge in America and making sure that you get an American citizenship and not to come to Ghana.
Really, I don't think the conversation should be reduced to Ken Oforiatta's situation, because I just giving him the numbers.
Ken Oforiatta, hold on.
Let me speak.
Ken Oforiatta was the finance minister. He was the one in charge of our public purse.
Exactly.
How do you say that such a person should not be part of this conversation?
No, fair points. But I'm trying to let you understand that Gifty, MPP appointee, Hanan, Ameya, and now you said they have about 30 which you have lined up.
Yes.
And you want just this one person out of the 30 and those going to just come to the conclusion that the MPP party is running away from accountability?
Oh, but
nobody. No. Relax. No, Doc, relax. No. You have lined up about 5 of former appointees currently.
Yes.
The AG through the deputy says that we have about 30 others being lined up for prosecution. Then you want to say that this is a party that is shielding its people from accountability.
By your 3 of your stalwarts have demonstrated public, dislike for Ken Ofori-Atta's return. It is enough basis to say that your party.
We have always maintained.
But okay, so upon that assumption, that is the position of the party.
No. See,
is that the position of the party?
It won't be a fair conclusion to come to. When we have
that's what I'm asking. Is that the position of the party?
No, that is never the position of the party because it
won't
be a fair position to come to because we have about 6 of former appointees who are facing trial in court. We have some under investigations. There's a mention of about 30 or 40 people who have gone through investigation. Then you conclude by saying because Ofori-Atta is not here, the MPP party is shielding its former appointees from accountability. No, we don't do that as a party. Like I said, we've been in government before. 2000 to 2008, we were in government. We stayed and we faced accountability. 2016 to 2024, we have been in government. We are facing accountability. Almost everybody who has go through the investigations and all that, nobody has shielded. It is the excesses that we complain. So, for instance, the happening at Yoko, where Mr. Remunacha would set some huge, let's take issues of miracle. He was undergoing investigations. Then he was rearrested. He was arrested. A huge bail bond was put on his head. Those are the things we complain about. Nobody has said that no MPP member shouldn't face accountability. But the excesses and the media trial, if you watch the space, those are the stuff MPP complains about. That the excesses, the malhandling of the suspect, they are suspects. And we remind the prosecution, we remind the government that it is a tenet of our constitutional provision that everybody is innocent until proven guilty. But your media trials make them as if they are guilty before they even have their day in court. Those are the things we complain about. And the excesses and the high-handedness they go through when they are arrested by especially Mr. Remunacha Siyoko. Those are the things we complain about. Apart from that, have you heard any MPP member saying that we are not going to... No. This kind of Ofori-Atta issue, I think it's another subject for another day. But we all know how it has panned out over the period. So as a party, let me put on record that nobody is running away from accountability and nobody is shielding anybody from accountability. It is the high-handedness, it is the excesses that we complain of. It's the media trial. It's the media trial that we complain of. Hold on. So, my brother, as a person in government, give them the assurance that when they need us, we will make ourselves available, just as we've done all the time. Because why? People have gone through trial, and at the end of the day, they've been vindicated. So, for me, it does 2 things for the party. It does 2 things for the parties. It is a lesson that, listen, when you are given the opportunity as an appointee of government, there will be accountability at the end of the day. So in the course of your stewardship, you should be careful. You should do things properly. Then the third lesson is that it would either vindicate you or exonerate you, because most of these allegations thrown at the persons involved, it goes to defame them as well. So if you have your day in court, you go through the processes and you come out clean, it exonerates you and gives your name a better. And so for me, nobody is running away from accountability. As a party, as former appointees, we are ready. Mr. Aye, take the assurances from us that everybody is here. So why? The 30 people that you've lined up, are they not party members?
Council. Let me first of all even respond to your claim that high-handedness.
Very
Yoko
high.
has not been high-handed in any way.
Come on.
Lily, is it the first time somebody has been arrested by Yoko? No. Do you know Mr. Kojo Chumbuafo?
Very well.
He is the CEO of FIC, former CEO of Free
Zones.
He was arrested at the airport, sent to Yoko cells, almost spent his Christmas in Yoko cells. Do you know the amount of people Yoko has arrested? Recently, when my good brother Mrakos Abuaje was arrested, what happened to him? He was not kept in Yoko cells more than 48 hours without bail conditions. He was given bail. And this is not the first time somebody has been given a bail of 50 million. Counsel, you are a lawyer. You know what arrangements are considered before a bail is put in place. You cannot tell me that this is the first time a 50 million bail has been given. In the same Wagongo and Opunike, you know the bail that they got, even before it was varied by court. What are we talking about? Why are we pretending as if Ghana just started a year ago, and that this is the first time people are being arrested or being investigated? You understand? You are crying. You are. How do I even put it? They are raising storms in teacups and building mountains for more hills. What is a normal process and procedure by Yoku? MPP is now telling us that it represents high-handedness. Have we not seen people who have been investigated, tried, gone to court, and has been exonerated? Dr. Atoforson is a clear case. Never mind that some shenanigans were put in place to definitely incriminate him when he was innocent, as pronounced by the courts. And so, chill. It is early days yet. We are only 18 months in government. You spent 8 years lined up people in court because you had no evidence, you had no basis for the prosecution, as a document or a memo was given to today's Attorney General when he came. When he came, the Department of State Prosecution gave him a memo that they gave it to Godfrey Dame.
Okay.
That the case involving the state versus the Bank of Ghana governor was moot. And that the state needed to discontinue the case because the basis for which they were prosecuting him, that basis did not exist again.
All right,
but they went ahead to prosecute him. That is why for 8 years, they couldn't secure any proper conviction between the Collins Dada, Opuni, and the other cases. But we can promise you that because we believe in what we are doing, because we have the facts, and the Attorney General and his deputy believe that these people have committed crimes, we will see that government will make its case in court.
Okay.
And the people of Ghana will get their justice.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. That's Dr. Samiaye. He's a presidential aide. Richmond Maunyo Akpa, he's finance and economic policy analyst. And Bernard Kwame Oredo Esquire is a member of the NPP legal team. I take a break here. When I return, we'll talk more. Please don't go away. Okay. All right. You're welcome back to the show. This is still J today here at GHOne TV, and I am Lily Mohammed. This morning, I've been joined by some distinguished members of the University of Ghana School of Law. They have an alumni lecture coming on, and so those of you who attended the University of Ghana School of Law, 90-30, please, they are waiting for you. And members of the bench, members of the bar, please, this is a call to you. I've been joined this morning by Kenneth Gate. He's a lecturer at the University of Ghana School of Law, and Dr. Fafa Delight Agbeko. She's also a lecturer at the University of Ghana School of Law. Good morning, lady and gentlemen.
Good morning.
How are we doing?
Doing well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank
It's
you.
a pleasure having you. Let's talk about the alumni lecture and why the alumni lecture and when is it? Doc.
So we decided to start the alumni lecture as an initiative and a way to bring our alumni back to campus. We see it as an opportunity to celebrate the excellence that the school has produced. When you just take a glance, okay, at the legal profession, almost every lawyer or practitioner of some worth is a product of the school. And so we need to celebrate that excellence. Then we need to create a system where these alumni are able to connect with the students and also contribute to the development of the faculty as well. And so we decided to start this alumni lecture so that we bring them back. We give the students access to this alumni because they're going to be in the same room with them, hear from them, learn from them. And after the lecture, there will be a cocktail and networking session. So they'll have the opportunity to meet all these names they have heard of and speak to them one-on-one. The event would also be a launch pad for other things to come in the future.
What other things are you planning?
Okay, so we are looking at establishing a proper alumni network.
Okay.
So this is going to be a launch pad for that. We'll also be having an annual colloquia series where we'll discuss matters that are pertinent in the legal profession as well. Yes, so this lecture is a launch pad to roll out all these things.
Why should anybody who has ever attended University of Ghana School of Law come for this alumni lecture? Why is it important for them at this particular time that you're launching? Because how many years has the School of Law been in existence?
59, so we've been around for quite a while.
And you found a need to have an alumni lecture now. Why should anybody who has passed through those corridors come for this lecture?
Yes, like Dr. Fafa has just said, it is also to put a structure to our alumni network, but particularly why alumni and others interested should come to the lecture is the topics which are going to be led by our very distinguished speakers. Sir Justice Dennis Ajay would be speaking about the Ghana legal education landscape and recent reforms. Justice Yoni Kulendi, so they're both justices of the Supreme Court, would also be looking at dimensions of justice, will be looking at perspectives from practice, the bench, and the trust of the people. And these are all conversations that are being carried on, particularly now within the legal circles, particularly the one on legal education.
And the current reforms.
Yes,
for
the current
a
reforms.
lot of people out there who are even continuing students and those who want to enroll in the School of Law, there's a bit of confusion. For you as a lecturer, these reforms, what does it settle?
Well, the stated purpose for the reforms is, one, to increase, take away the bottlenecks of access, to increase access, and even more importantly, to also promote quality, so that you are improving access, but you're also aiming to maintain quality.
There are a lot of Supreme Court judges. Why did you settle on Sir Dennis Ajay and then Justice Yoni Kulendi?
Well, it's the topics are pertinent, but secondly also because these two very distinguished jurists have a lot to say on these. Sir Justice Dennis Ajay, for anybody who qualified in the last 15 years or so through the Ghana School of Law, would have had some interface as a lecturer, as an examiner of some sort. He's been Dean of a Faculty of Law. He continues to teach, he continues to examine. So what better person to
and his many years in practice. So he comes to the conversation with a lot of knowledge to share. And before Justice Kulendi was appointed up to the Supreme Court, he was a very noted legal practitioner of many years. So if we're looking for somebody who is going to talk about perspectives from practice, from being on the bench, and questions about trust for the people, this is somebody who has seen it all. So these two are going to grace our maiden series.
Okay, let's talk about the events. So when is it happening? What time does it start? Who can attend? Okay.
At 3 p.m. at the University of Ghana School of Law Auditorium, and it's open to the public, especially our alumni. We've sent out invitations to our alumni across the bench and at the bar, and so we are looking forward to hosting all of you. No need to pre-register or pay
so there's
or
no
anything.
registration, just walking on Thursday from 3 p.m.
Yes.
Okay.
But be prompt. 3 p.m. prompt. Not Ghana man time.
3 p.m. the time that you attend the lecture.
Yes.
You know how you are late and then lectures to school. That is how you should attend this event. But let's look at, for continuing students, if I want to attend, am I allowed to attend? And how does such an event benefit me?
Yes, of course. Continuing students should attend. Okay. It benefits you because it gives you access. You read the judgments that the justices of the Supreme Court deliver, and note that there will be other justices as well. So it's not just the speakers. We'll have justices from the Supreme Court and the Superior Court. So these are people you would ordinarily not have access to on a normal day. But if you attend Thursday's event, you're going to have the opportunity to be able to speak with them, to interact with them. Heads of law firms will be present.
Okay.
And so at the cocktail, so after the lecture, the event is in 2 parts.
Okay.
The first part is the lecture, and the second part is a cocktail
And a networking session. Okay.
So you would have the opportunity to interact with them. And for students, most especially, I mean, being there and realizing that these people were once in the same lecture rooms, they were once like you, and they've been able to travel this path and become important and have been able to contribute significantly to society, should be inspirational enough to urge you on, even as they, you said a few minutes ago that there's the perception that law is difficult.
Yes.
So everyone needs to have an example they can look up to encourage them to keep going when the going gets tough.
Is that something you want to add? Now, for persons who equally want to study law, can they come for this event? Will people present, like practitioners, lecturers, law firms, be open to enlighten persons who want to study the law? Well,
the event is open to the public, so we expect that some persons who are not already within the legal fraternity, either students or practitioners, can join. So they are. We're happy for them to join us. It's an opportunity also to get a sense of how they're going to put their plans into action.
I asked this off air. I'm going to ask this. For people who say that the law is difficult, what would you say to them?
I would say the law is not difficult. It's only demanding. Yes. I remember when we started the LLB first, our seniors told us the law is a jealous mistress. And that is exactly what it is. You need to make time, devote time to read the books, to read the cases. So if you make the time, you'll get it. It becomes challenging when you are not able to devote time to it. So they should just try to devote a bit more time and they'll be fine.
Kenneth, for people out there, what would you say to them on this lecture? Why should they be there on Thursday? And for those of you who are looking out to study law too, what would you say to them before you go, finally?
Yes, well, the topics, I look forward very much to the topics going to be discussed. These are things which are being talked about amongst law students, law lecturers, the reforms, the changes to the law that has happened this year, the implementation with the pre-bar course coming up. Sir Justice Dennis J might share very useful nuggets of wisdom for implementation, and definitely Justice Kulendi would have something to say about justice that can resonate with all of us. So I'm personally looking forward to it, and I encourage everyone, particularly the University of Ghana School of Law alumni, to join us on Thursday at 3 p.m. on the main campus in our building.
If anybody is looking at studying law, why should they choose the University of Ghana School of Law, aside it being the premier university?
Well, we have many years of excellence. I should just say that our parts of implementation are not experimental. We have done it, and we continue to do it, and we pay close attention to issues of quality. The rigor of the study is strong. Our recruitment looks particularly at the very best. So yeah, University of Ghana, it's also the premier school, and we are not just saying that by ourselves. Recent rankings demonstrate that we are amongst the very best in Africa and the best in West Africa. So not just in Ghana. So we are not local players. We're international players.
Okay. And congratulations to you on winning the moot court competition, by the way.
Thank you.
That's
Thank
you.
That's Dr. Papa.
You see, the awards are so many that we even forget some.
Dr. Fafa Delight Tagbeko, she's the lecturer at University of Ghana School of Law, and Kenneth Gatti is also a lecturer at University of Ghana School of Law. I take a break. I'm back shortly. Stay with me.